Mr. President, after the Patriotic War, you set out certain conditions for Armenia to sign a peace treaty. The first of them was related to the abolition of the OSCE Minsk group. Today, the foreign ministers of Azerbaijan and Armenia signed an appeal to the OSCE Secretary-General in this regard. The second condition was related to the removal of territorial claims against Azerbaijan from Armenia's fundamental law, the Constitution. How realistic does this seem in the current situation?
Məncə tam real görünür. Çünki birinci onu deməliyəm ki, bizim
Indeed, I can say that when the Second Karabakh War ended, some sort of a gap, a vacuum appeared in the field of future relations and contacts between Armenia and Azerbaijan. At that time, the OSCE Minsk group, which was still interested in operating, was almost paralyzed. They did not know what to do, because Azerbaijan resolved all issues on its own within the framework of international law. The Karabakh conflict, the Azerbaijan-Armenia conflict, was resolved by military and political means. I think it seems completely realistic. Because, first of all, I must say that all our conditions are completely logical, reasonable, and legitimate. At various stages, a theory was put forward in Armenian society and ruling circles that Azerbaijan allegedly wanted to interfere in Armenia's internal affairs. This issue was repeatedly raised, even during negotiations. Our position was that this should not be perceived as such. This is an issue that directly concerns us. It is an open demand, a claim against our territorial integrity. Therefore, a peace treaty cannot be signed without this being changed. Our position has always been consistent, logical, and reasonable, and we have never backed down from our position, because we never set unrealistic or unacceptable conditions for Armenia. But for some reason, a reasonable proposal on the abolition of the Minsk group was met with a negative reaction. However, we have repeatedly tried to explain that as long as Armenia recognizes the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan and says itself that Karabakh is Azerbaijan, the de jure continuation of the Minsk group is completely illogical. It has already lost its functional essence, and we will never allow it to be revived in any form or take on a different form. Therefore, I believe that the initialing of the peace agreement and the appeal for the abolition of the Minsk group have removed the first obstacle. Let me repeat, this peace agreement was initialed in the White House today. Therefore, I have no doubt that when the constitution of Armenia is changed, the Armenian side is stating itself that such changes should be made, the territorial claim against Azerbaijan will be removed from it. Otherwise, it will be disrespectful to the United States of America, first of all. Everyone knows this, and our position is understood by almost all leading international actors, including the United States of America, because when a peace agreement is signed, every issue must be resolved, and the groundless territorial claims against us must be removed. Therefore, I have no doubts about this issue. Let me reiterate, when this happens, is Armenia's own business. We cannot put forward any proposals here. However, I do believe that the sooner the better, because I think we can't waste time. In a situation where Azerbaijan and Armenia have already initialed the peace agreement, its official signing should not take long.
Paraflayıb onun rəsmi imzalanması da çox çəkməməlidir.